Hello out there. Happy Friday. We're on the air. Welcome back to another edition, another episode. Holy, my voice. My voice. Welcome back to another episode of the Daily Bitcoin Journey. This is, of course, actionable and logical discussion for Bitcoiners and for future Bitcoiners. Shout out to our good buddy Arnie, our live audience this morning. Good morning, Arnie. Oh, my arm's in the way. Good morning, Arnie. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Muslim Bitcoiner. Timber Crasher, one of our Bitcoin journeymen. You can see his little logo there. It looks a little bit different. I like it. Crypto Heathen says, good morning, everybody, and hit that like on the way in. Help a brother out. Arnie, what's up? He's here. We're ready for a Good Friday today. It's not officially Good Friday today, but it's a Good Friday today. Muslim Bitcoiner says, Assalam. MicroStrategy stock split, Trump at Bitcoin Nashville, Germany and Mt. Gox nearly done dumping, and Bitcoin is still absorbing like a champ. Bullish much? Well, that's it. That's it for today. Good show. Have a good Friday, everybody. Good morning, Zap.stream. My buddies over there. We got RJ says, I'm also out of Bailey's. That's the Zap goal for today. A new bottle of Bailey's. We've been trying for like a month and we still don't have enough for one, I don't think. We got about $5 worth so far out of our goal. So hopefully the Zap.stream is buzzing today. We can get a new bottle of Bailey's and we can add some for next Friday. Oh, that's hot. Well, as you can tell, I'm a little bit tired today, we'll say. A little bit tired. Still here, though. We made it somehow, some way. And we got a good show today. It's Friday. Couldn't miss a Q&A. Had to do it. So we got a big day ahead of us, but we're going to start with some Q&A. So structure the show today, like every Friday, it's a Q&A. So I got, how many questions here? 5 or 6 questions today that we're going to go through that are kind of preloaded. But if you, at any time of the show, have a question, a comment, a concern, if you're concerned about something, fire it in the chat and we will talk about it. That's what today's for. This could be half an hour. This could be 3 hours long today. Arnie's hoping for half an hour, but we'll see. Adrian says, good euphemism, tired. Yeah, it was a long day yesterday. Golfed. Started golfing about 10, finished. It was a really long round, like 6-hour round. And very hot, hottest day of the year. So it was a little bit, we'll say tired today. Honestly, I'm more tired. I got home pretty late last night. But we're going to get through it today, just like we always do. Bit of coffee and a prayer. Red Rider BB Gun, my favorite name out there. Joe rocks. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's start the show on that note. I don't feel like I rock today, but we're here, and that's all that matters. So where should we start today, folks? Okay, this phone can pluck off. I remember to do everything today. I can't believe it. Okay, so here's a question right off the hop from Letha in the chat. I asked the people within the Living in the Future community today to throw me a few softballs to start the show today. This doesn't look like a softball though, Letha. She says, I have a question. I thought a miner could only earn the 3.25 reward, but after seeing your BitAxe miner, anyone can earn Satoshis? Yeah, so that's a good question, actually, Letha. That is kind of I wouldn't say softball, but that's a good question because so there's kind of 2 types of mining that you do. Basically, you can get a BitAxe, which has basically one ASIC in it, so a little chip. That's what provides the hash power. A miner, I think, like if you were to get an S21 miner, it actually has about, I think it's 324 ASICs in it. So basically what you're doing is you're using one 324th worth of energy. You're getting one 324th of the rewards from that. But when you set it up, you can actually set it up to be a lottery miner, lotto miner, or a pool miner. So lotto or pool, solo or pool. And there's a difference there, because with the solo route, that's where you have a chance to win the 3.25. It's very low. That's why it's like a lottery ticket almost, that you'd actually hit the block reward, solve the equation. But it's possible. So that's why it's called a lottery miners, that you have a chance to win the 3.25 Bitcoin plus the fees. And in a second, we'll look at the, what's it called? The mempool. And we'll see how much you could have won if you mine that block. But on the flip side of that, you could pool mine. So basically what you do is you put you connect to a pool, you send your hash rate there, you send your energy there, and you get a fraction of that pool's income, Bitcoin income. And so for the most part, I think they're pretty consistent. So it's based on how much you put in. That's how much you get back from the pool. But you don't have a chance to win that 3.25. So you can't have it both ways. You're either going for it or you're going for a consistent flow. So with the solo mining, you could spend your whole life mining and never hit a block reward, never get anything from it. With the pool, you get more consistent. It's not a whole lot, especially with like a bit axe, but you're guaranteed to get some there. You're just never going to hit the big one. So that's kind of the difference there in terms of mining. So Letha zapped 2.1 thousand sats for Bailey's. Thank you. And Daniel zapped 1,000 sats for our favorite club, the 1,000 Zap Club. Thank you, Daniel. We got a couple of other faces in the chat here today. We got AD, we got Anton, and we got Matt. Happy Friday is right. It is a great Friday. So let's get to it's going to be kind of a slow day today. I think my brain's moving pretty slow. So Stacker Zap 2.1 thousand sats said add a Red Bull. Yeah, we could use some Red Bull here for sure. Just no vodka or Jägermeister with it, please. Letha says that makes sense. Thanks for the explanation. And zapped 1,000 sats. Of course. Such a cool format to the show. People can just ask questions. I don't always have the answers, but I do my best. And then if somebody likes the response, they can zap, just like Letha did. Pretty cool. What a time to be alive. Our friend from overseas, Cayman's Hardy's, says, my question, how to live with Bitcoin only on a daily basis at a low cost? Looked at a couple different options to pay with Bitcoin using some cards like Wired, Lizzie, but fees are too high, and I feel like it's just a way for intermediaries to steal some sats from us. So the question was how to live with Bitcoin only on a daily basis at a low cost. Honestly, I think that your best option is probably like with if you're using an exchange like Bitcoin Well, which is available in Canada and the US, or Bull Bitcoin, you can actually pay your monthly bills with it. So you hook it up, you can set up your payees just like you would for like online banking for your normal monthly expenses, but you can hook up with them so you can actually pay your expenses. That doesn't help you much though, because I don't think that you're in Canada or in the US. But another good option is, what the hell is it called? Bitrefill. So what you do there is you just pay with Bitcoin. You buy gift cards. You can buy like Amazon. You can buy like Esso, which is a gas station here. Sobeys for your groceries. Tim Hortons. Like you can buy all these different gift cards with Bitrefill. And it's completely anonymous too, which is pretty cool. You don't need to KYC yourself with Bitrefill. So you send Bitcoin, you buy a gift card. You could it's all actually digital. So you just get like a QR code that they give you on your phone. I've done it before. It works pretty slick, actually. I bought gas and groceries, I think, with it. So like I said, you send them sats, you get a gift card, and you can use that gift card on your phone at these different places to shop around. It's doable. It's pretty difficult still, but I think it's doable. Rick says, smash the like it. Good question. Let's check it out. And while we check, it'd be a good chance to just press it. So easy. Whoops. I'm used to my Samsung with the volume on this side. I was trying to turn it down, but I was pressing the power button on the iPhone. Sorry about that. Whoops. Okay, my apologies. We got a lot of people who have smashed the like button today, so shout out to everybody in the YouTube. We got Red Rider BB gun. Is there a Mile High Zap Club? What would a Mile High Zap Club be? Like more than 1,000? Maybe more than 10,000? The one idea that I did have as of late, I was going to say every month, the highest zap on zap.stream will get something, whether that's like a t-shirt or a nice handwritten letter from me. I think that'd be kind of cool. Maybe we'll start that today. Maybe we'll start that officially today. We don't need any sort of approval from anybody. I just checked with our HR department and our marketing team, and we're good to go. So that's what we're going to do. The highest zap of the month is going to get something for it. Might be some sats, might be a free t-shirt, might be a free hat, or it might be a nice handwritten letter from Manitoba with love. So I don't know who the top zap, I think it's 2.1K sats, or maybe it's, I think it's 4.2 Mav. I think Mav has it. I like that idea. So we'll keep track of that. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but maybe I'll just put a little piece of paper here for the month, and then at the end of every month, we'll do it, something for him or her. Rock and roll's in the house. Good morning, my friend. Morning, all central bank destroyers. There you go. Morning, rock and roll. Muslim Bitcoiner says, I wouldn't be living with spending Bitcoin yet. We are in store of value stage right now. So hold tight or move to Bitcoin jungle, Costa Rica or Salvador. So yeah, I got a different opinion on that. I think we need to be spending Bitcoin. I really do. I think if we want this thing to take off, if we want to accelerate things, we have to be spending Bitcoin. And I really just look at it like you're just spending money. You're not spending Bitcoin. You're not spending fiat. You're just spending money. So don't go just buy stuff that you don't need with Bitcoin. But like if you can pay your bills with Bitcoin, if you can buy your local meat with Bitcoin, do it. Just replenish it as soon as you spend it. I wouldn't consider that to be like selling your Bitcoin. That's just your way of paying for things. And I mean, just think of it. If you could either buy meat or Bitcoin and pay for the meat with that Bitcoin, like it's the same kind of thing. You're probably going to pay a little bit of a spread there. But I also think that if you set yourself up properly over these next couple of years, you'll find people within your network that's going to accept Bitcoin, and they might even give you a discount for it. So even though you're going to be paying a bit of a spread on that every time you buy Bitcoin, there's a good chance that a lot of these people within the Bitcoin network will be taking or accepting a discount for it. So I see what you're saying. Like, don't ever just sell your Bitcoin and hold fiat. Like, that's not ever the play. But just spend it and replenish it as soon as you spend it. Here's a question from Red Rider BB Gun. Why the heck is Germany in such a hurry to sell their confiscated Bitcoin? I don't know. If you have any connections within the German government, I would like to know that as well. It will go down as one of the dumbest moves in world history. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make an ounce of sense. They're selling their Bitcoin for fiat that they can just create. Like, realistically, the governments, they tell us, like, here's how much money we printed, here's how much debt we took on this month. That's what they tell us, but they don't get audited. So it's like, if you're really hurting that much for cash, just find a way to create some somewhere. I'm sure somebody within the German government can just add a couple zeros to their cash balance. Like, what are you doing? It makes no sense. You have the ability to create currency, and you're trading the hardest money, the greatest asset that's ever existed, for that currency that you can create. It makes no sense. And I think it's a crime against humanity. And I really hope that the citizens of Germany somehow, some way, actually go after their government for such a idiotic, bonehead move. It's insane. Muslim Bitcoiner says, what's your thoughts on future paying things with sats over borrowing against it for fiat? Both can coexist. Yeah, absolutely. kind of honestly, my plan for the future, this is kind of how I see it playing out in my head, is that I'm going to have like my 90%, 95% of my Bitcoin in cold storage, going to be very well protected. There's no single point of failure there or attack for me. You get that. And then you take the rest of it and you slowly start spending it. And I think that if you keep it under like $500, your transactions, they're never going to be able to tax that ever. If we get to a critical mass here, there's no way that they're going to be able to tax and follow all of those transactions. So I think that the thing that you should be doing is like spending $100, $200 on whatever you need with Bitcoin. The rest you keep. But then if you need a big purchase, like a truck or a new roof or whatever that may be, that's when you go to the bank and say, I need a line of credit here or a loan. Here's my Bitcoin. Don't touch it. But I want to take some fiat. I want some fake money here to go pay for my roof. So that's what I would say for that. And another really good thought idea that I heard on what Bitcoin did is that let's say you have Bitcoin today and you're holding on to it, and in 4 years your plan is to buy a new car because you haven't had one for a while. You're driving an old piece of shit. So your plan is to buy a new car. So instead of actually selling your Bitcoin in 4 years from now, you just take out a loan, and as you need to every month, you can sell some of your Bitcoin to pay off that loan. But don't go to the car dealership, sell your Bitcoin, pay with cash. That's idiotic. Take on the debt, make your payments every month. If you need to, spend some Bitcoin. If not, keep your Bitcoin intact. But I thought that was a brilliant strategy, and I think that something Bitcoiners should be thinking about if you need to. Okay, what's up in Zapstream? Stacker says only problem with spending Bitcoin is that it's a taxable event. Yeah. Is it? Is it? I don't know. How can you, to me, how can they tax it? If I went to America this weekend for a golf trip, there's a mosquito in here. We're under attack here. If I went to America this weekend and I took out $2,000, I want to go gamble a bit, and I came back and I won $4,000 in the US. If I wanted to convert that back to Canadian to get my cash, they're not going to tax me on that. So it's the same thing. It's like El Salvador has Bitcoin as their legal tender. So if I just want to do a foreign exchange swap, why would I have to pay tax on Bitcoin? That doesn't make any sense. So I think like if you sell your Ethereum for a gain, which you won't because it won't be a gain, but something like that where it's not a commodity like Bitcoin is. It's not a legal tender anywhere. It's legal tender in El Salvador, which means it's just money. So it's just a foreign exchange swap. Not financial advice or tax advice. That's just how I see it. Daniel says, I like the Grinder's idea of thinking Bitcoin is a currency. Yeah. And when you use it to pay for things in US or Euro, it's just a currency exchange. Exactly. Like, honestly, just think about it. I know there's probably not a law that says that yet, but that's just logic. It's just a foreign exchange because it's a legal tender in El Salvador. So I don't know. And as Rock and Roll says here, get some no KYC, F taxes. We're going to be on a lot of lists, Rock and Roll, you and I. Red Rider says, I agree. They will rue the day they unloaded their Bitcoin position. Oh, makes me sick, honestly. Makes me sick. Well, we're 20 minutes in here. We haven't touched the metrics yet. So let's do that right now. Then we'll catch up on a few chats. Arnie's being a good boy today, as usual. He's sleeping. Oh, you can't see him. He's sleeping. Looks like Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's snoozing away. Him and I both need sleep. Me, probably more than him. He had a good night's sleep. Oh, that's not what we want. What's going on here? I figured there'd be some issues today. Not bad yet though. Okay, 5 sats per V-byte. Look at that. Look at that. So we're currently block height 851,846. And if you're transacting on the Bitcoin layer 1 today, it's your lucky day. You're paying 5 sats per V-byte. Laughable. But good to see, honestly, unless you're a miner. But going back to Letha's question there, if you were to set up a BitAxe and you hit the block, you would have won 3.322 Bitcoin for that, $191,000 worth with your little wee BitAxe. So with that, you get the subsidy, which is 3.125, plus you get the fees on all the transactions within that block, which in this case were 0.197. Pretty low, but at the same time, it's pretty good little reward for hooking up to the network. Unfortunately, this one was Maripool, who is an enemy of us. Oh, that's the wrong block. Sorry about that. That was a higher fee. Yeah, this makes more sense. 0.06 of a Bitcoin for the fees. But negative shout out once again to Maripool for mining Caspa. Yikes. The price today, 57,000 US dollars, 382. 1 year ago today, you could have got a Bitcoin, excuse me, for 30,365 US dollars. And 4 years ago, you could have got one for 9,331 USD. Moscow time today, which is the equivalent. How many sats will $1 US get you? If you had a $1 bill in your pocket, you could get 1,740 sats today. Deal of a lifetime. Price in Canada here today, 2024, 78,300 Canadian dollars. And the Moose Jaw time, which is sponsored by our friends over at Bitcoin Well, we're going to toss into the wishing well here in just 1 sec. But the Moose Jaw time today is $1 Canadian equals 1,278 sats. So we don't have quite the purchasing power that the US dollar has, but it's still the deal of a lifetime here in Canada. Probably more so, honestly. Okay, let's get to the well. So I'll give everybody a chance now to get your phones ready. We're going to do our Bitcoin wishing well toss. And I'm going to have my phone ready to go out of camera's view, just in case we hit that 1 mil. Okay, shut up, Joe. We got to type this in here properly. Fuck. Bad spelling. I feel like with all the passwords that we have nowadays, with all the different accounts that we have, first of all, NOSTR solves all this. You have one public key, one private key. That's it. So that's the first part. But the second one, like if you're a website or an account, or I have to type in my password there and I can't see it, you don't give me the option to show the password, I hate you. I hate you. Because how do I know if I spelt it right or not then? Like, what are you supposed to do? Just keep typing it? Especially when you're live. Anyways, this one has show password. So shout out to Bitcoin Wall for being a solid exchange. Good in my books. Got the mosquito. Here we go. Get your phones ready. We're tossing our coin into the wishing well right here. So let's redeem this. Let's see what we can get today. Last show, we got 2,100 sats, the winner, which was Parks over on Zap.stream. He won 2 days in a row. So let's see if he can make it 3 today. Well, hey, here we go. Get your phones ready. Come on, baby. Big one. 500. Still pretty good though. 500 sats. We'll take that every day of the week. So the first person to scan that and claim it will be 500 sats richer on this beautiful Friday today. It's actually not that beautiful. It's kind of gross out, but it's a beautiful day. So shout out to Bitcoin Well for sponsoring that, for being very generous with their rewards. You can earn your own tosses into the wishing well with an account at Bitcoin Well. So check them out, Bitcoin Well, if you're in the US or you're in Canada. Go to bitcoinwell.com/Jor. Very simple. Very simple. Shout out to Adam too. He's been very helpful. He helped. He replied saying that they had some issues with it last week or earlier in the week when we had some duds there. So they had a bug. He said they squashed it, and he's going to refund their tosses into my account because I think we burned 4 trying to get it to work. But anyways, Bitcoin Well, if you're in Canada or the US, they're a non-custodial exchange, which means that all the Bitcoin you buy goes directly to your cold storage. They got very simple 1% spread. They're free withdrawals, obviously, which if you're using an exchange that doesn't have free withdrawals, leave. And by using that link, bitcoinwell.com/Jor, you get 5 free tosses into the wall, which equates to, it's basically just a bunch of free Bitcoin. So tosses equals Bitcoin. Sign up. That's it. I'm not in the mood to try to sell things today. So if I have one wish for Friday, get a Bitcoin Well account today. Oh, there we go, Arnold. There's a new face in the chat. The winner of today's. Didn't think it would work. Thanks for the sats. What do you think, we were lying? I don't know why I'm drinking coffee like a psychopath today. Oh, it's hot. I'm hot. Artie's hot. Okay, let's move on here. We're getting out of control here a little bit. I apologize. Over to Zap.stream. I've kind of been focused on the Bitcoin Well toss there. I see Django's over there. Good morning. Oh, we got some heavy zaps here today. We're close to our new bottle of Bailey's over there. We only need 20,000 more sats. And sorry, I can't get into this right now. I got to answer a few questions here. Sorry. Okay, so let's get to the questions. The first one we're going to go with from the Bitcoin Boomer. Our friend, he's in the live chat once in a while, the Bitcoin Boomer. Maybe he's here today, maybe not. But at the same time, he's got a question or a comment. So he said, well, you got me thinking about an exit strategy. This was a response to one of the videos. I think I'm going to wait till the Ethereum ETF launches, pray, in caps, pray, the price spikes, and then dump it all and buy more Bitcoin. You got to ask yourself this question, though. Is it gonna? Will the ETF even be approved? Is it going to launch? I don't know. Was anybody going to give a shit? That's why I say, like, this is my thesis on this. If you have Ethereum, if you have Dogecoin, if you have any altcoins that you're waiting to swap, if you're selling them for cash, if you need to pay off your loan, pay off a car loan, take a trip, if you're selling it for cash, wait till the price goes up, because everything's going to follow Bitcoin, whether it has a use case or not, probably this cycle. So just wait, because you're trading it for fiat. You're selling, or you're paying your debt, you're buying a trip, wait for that. But if you're exchanging it for Bitcoin, do it today. Because over time here, and if you want to wait this out, if you want to pray the price spikes after the ETF launch, then by all means, prove me wrong. Take the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum today, wait and see if you can get a better trade than today. But I don't think you will. And if you do, you're going to be spending way too much time looking at the prices. We don't need to be watching prices of these shit coins to be trying to make some money. Just swap it for Bitcoin. You're going to get more sats today than you would get in the future, because everything's going to continue to go down against Bitcoin, including Ethereum. So that's what I would say. It wasn't really a question, but that's just my 2 cents on it, is that if you're trading it for fiat, wait. If you're trading it for Bitcoin, do it today. Don't wait, because we have no idea what Bitcoin's going to do. There's predictions, there's experts online. Nobody knows, though. It could 50x and everything else could just stay where it is. Like, we have no idea what's going to happen here. So that's what I would say. I wouldn't wait to get Bitcoin and pray that the price of Ethereum. You never want to be praying for anything in Bitcoin. Matt over in, let's take a question here. Matt says, are taxes a scam? That's a loaded question. So that's a good question, though. I think that it's a pretty relevant one because we pay a lot of tax. And is it a scam? Absolutely. All taxes are a scam. They are. Absolute head to toe scam. And we pay way too much. Back in the early 1900s, they actually revolted against the government for charging a 2% tax on tea. 2% on tea. And now you have people out there paying like 50% tax and just like okay with it. I mean, they're pissed off, but they're just bitching about it. They don't do anything. And you got France now who's saying that the ultra wealthy, if you make over like 500 grand, I think any income over 500 grand, they tax you at 90%. That's what the new liberal, or I don't know what it is in French. Our friend Caymans might be able to tell us this, but 90%. That's just straight up like robbery. 50% is robbery. 20% is robbery. But here's the thing. Here's what my thoughts on this is. This is how I see this thing playing out. Okay, bear with me. This is going to sound pretty crazy for some people, I think. But I really believe that over this next, I have no idea, 10 years, let's say, that governments are they're going to get bigger for a while. But then as fiat continues to lose purchasing power, less and less people are going to be motivated to work for the government or for anywhere because their fiat's not getting them anything. They're just going to give up. Why would you go to work so hard, work 2 or 3 jobs just to survive? Why? People are just going to say that's enough. And so I think that over time here, governments are going to shrink in size. They're going to get much less fat than they are today. They're going to lose a lot of their power. They're going to put, hopefully the smart countries, Canada, the US, will put a lot of resources into Bitcoin mining. We can make the switch from human resources, income taxes, to natural resources through Bitcoin mining. So people will be paying less tax. We'll have our inflows coming in, the way to fund our smaller governments through Bitcoin mining. Citizens will be paying less tax because a lot of people won't be working. I think there'll be some sort of UBI there, or like a universal income for people, for the lazy folks. There'll probably be some restrictions with it for a while, but that's kind of how I see things playing out here into the future. And so with a smaller government, there's going to be less people paying tax. They're going to have to shrink. But, and then with taxes, like people say the roads, you have to pay for the roads. You have to pay for schools. You have to pay for all this stuff. Okay, just privatize it. We have the ability now where you could actually put like a meter with your phone that says to drive on this highway, you have to pay. They have in Europe everywhere. They have in the States a lot, a toll. But you could be able to do that with like 500 sats to drive on this road for today. And then whoever's running that, whether that's the government, hopefully not, but like a private company, they use that money of people driving on the road to actually pay for the road. Like the stuff, we don't need a government to be doing this. Just privatize it. Get a construction company, a road company. They look after the road. They earn the people sats or the money or whatever it is from people driving on it. There's no government needed there. They've just kind of captured everything without just slowly over time. And that's where we are today. And schools too. You want your kid to go to school, pay somebody. You want health insurance, pay somebody for it. Privatize things. Like the amount of wasted fucking money in the government is just insane. You pay taxes. So yeah, of course they're a scam because what are they actually used for? We're funding Ukraine. Our government cares more about other countries and bringing new people into this country than it does its own citizens. That's where we are today. So yeah, it's shitty for now, but it's not going to be like this forever because it just can't be. It's not sustainable. Matt says if 100% tax is slavery, at what point is it not slavery? Like, think about it. I'm not going to get into the slavery stuff because that's a topic that we don't really need to have on YouTube. But like back in the day, they just signed 7-year contracts. That's what a slave was. They went to work. They signed a contract for 7 years. They still had time to do, with their family, to do stuff with their friends. But what's the difference between what we have now? They pay a lot less tax than I think as well. So I don't know. Use your own judgment there of what you think it would be. Red Rider says, I got to learn about NOSTR. You do need to learn about NOSTR fast too. Maybe not. I heard somebody say the other day that NOSTR today is like Bitcoin back in 2013. Bunch of bugs, very small community, but look what Bitcoin's turned into. And NOSTR is going to be the exact same thing. Not just as like a social media thing where you can make posts and share photos and stuff, but your public and private key. If you're actually going to take this stuff seriously, if you're going to get into the Bitcoin economy and network, that public and private key is going to be big, because you remove the middleman there. With fiat now, we have the trusted middleman there. That's what we pay insurance for. That's what, you pay extra for that. With Bitcoin, you don't have a trusted middleman there. So you're going to have to earn that trust over time through NOSTR, through your public private key, your online reputation. And that's going to be the trust factor there. If you want to buy and sell and interact online, you're going to have a strong reputation. And NOSTR is going to be the key to that. Silver Fox says, anyone got an LB access code? Just go on to NOSTR and send LB a message. It's getting really dark here right now. But just go on to NOSTR, send LB a message saying, can I get an invite code? And they'll send you one right away. Okay, what else we got going on here today? I'm hotter than heck. Couple pieces of news. We're kind of bouncing everywhere today, but the big piece of news yesterday was MicroStrategy stock split. There's been people predicting it. People have been waiting for it. And yesterday it finally happened. And 10-to-1 stock split. Pretty cool. I don't know when that kicks in though. Like, I feel like they announce it and then after, that's when the split happens, I think, or is it their delay there? That's what I don't know. So if you have 2 shares in MicroStrategy before the stock split, now you're going to have 20 shares of MicroStrategy, which is pretty cool. But at the same time, like, the market will react to it. So let's say that the MicroStrategy shares are 1,000, and holy, it's really dark here. I don't know if you can tell in the light, but looks like we're getting a storm. So let's say that MicroStrategy share was $1,000 today. They announced a stock split. The price is probably going to go, since they did a 10-to-1 stock split, the price is probably going to fall to 100, just based off of the circulating shares here. Look how dark it got here. I don't know if you can tell or not. No, not really. Fucking dark though, out of nowhere. So MicroStrategy, I think that was a really good move. And I think that it was a good move because for your average retail investor, like if you're somebody out there like me, who doesn't have a significant amount of capital within the stock market, but to buy a MicroStrategy share, $2,000 US is quite a bit. And I think that like on Robinhood and a few other places offer like fractionalized shares, which is an option, but I don't love Robinhood myself. So I'd rather own it through a reputable company. So if you're looking at it and you see the price of MicroStrategy is $2,000 and you got like $500 or $600 in your trading account, you can't really do much with that. You can't even buy 1 share. But with the stock split now, the price will be lower. There'll be more shares. And so that's going to bring in a whole new crowd of retail investors that, didn't have $2,000. And there's a lot of people like that. So will it have like a huge impact on the overall market? Probably not initially, but I think over time, $100 is much more doable if you got $500 or $600, right? And just think about your average person out there. So then you get 5 or 6 shares instead of not being able to buy one. The demand goes up. I think it's a good thing. So Anton says, it is funny, but actual Moscow time is 1740 right now. And we're 1740. So Anton means it's actually 1740 in Moscow right now. Plus, that's the actual Bitcoin Moscow time, 1740. That's pretty cool. So where are we here now? That's about all I had to say on that in terms of MicroStrategy. Great move. I think that it's going to bring a lot of new demand into it, and that's always a good thing. So I think that they're actually going to qualify for if they're not already, but companies who are within the top 500, I think they have a lot of funds. I think it's called that you can just buy the S&P 500 and you get exposure to every company that's included in that. And so when they get included in that as well, the demand for shares are going to go up as well. So my crazy prediction, and I think that there's a couple people online that agree with this as well, but like in the next decade, I think that MicroStrategy is probably going to be one of the most valuable companies out there. It's like top 500 now. I think it's going to be probably top 5 in 10 years from now. Just because they're holding so much Bitcoin, you're going to assume that Bitcoin price is going to go up in the next 10 years, and that's going to directly impact their balance sheet. And I really believe that. I think they're going to be top 5 in the next 10 years. RJ says, shout out to Robinhood for manipulating GameStop and getting me into Bitcoin. Woke a lot of people up. As bad as it was, as shitty as it was to be a part of that, but it woke a lot of people up. I sold my, what were we talking about? GameStop. I sold my GameStop and bought MicroStrategy. Oops. Silver Fox says, wow, Joe, you're not wearing a hoodie. I know it's fucking hot in here. I usually mix this one in. This was the one I was looking for the other day. It was lost for a while, but we got her back. Okay, next question here. This is from EFT Anarchy. It says, hi, Joe. Really enjoying your content. Any thoughts on buying a Heatbit? Noticed you live in Canada. Could be more energy efficient as any waste heat is used to warm your home when it's cold outside. Absolutely. I think that that's going to be. So what are your thoughts on buying a Heatbit? A Heatbit is essentially just like a heater. It's a space heater. So they sell these. I actually want to get in touch with them because I think that they should be a sponsor of the show because we have a lot of our audiences in Canada and the US where it's pretty cold for a lot of the year. And I think that this is going to be the next big trend in Bitcoin. But a Heatbit is basically just a space heater, which mines Bitcoin for you. So they We back? Are we back? I feel like we might be. I don't know if we're back on. What's going on? Hopefully I didn't freeze in a stupid place and look like a dummy online. Are we back? We might be back. The power went out. Well, my biggest fear of, I think we're back. I think we're back. My biggest fear of the internet is my power goes out, my computer freezes, and I'm stuck like for 5 minutes or like a day in this, or not a day, but like we back, Arn? What is going on? Well, let's just chill out here. Oh, we're back. Arn, we're back. Okay. I won't waste any more time here telling stupid stories. If I freeze again, I'm done. So this is power went out twice. It just tripped twice. And so the internet cuts out. It takes a couple minutes to load back up. So if we go down again, have a great weekend. Okay. Because we got shit to do here and this isn't helping. Stackers up 2.1 thousand sats towards better internet. Oh, and of course there's a record showing over in Zap.stream. We got 30 people over there today. That's fucking awesome. That's double the amount or triple the amount we have on YouTube. Okay, so what were we talking about there? Heatbit. No more messing around here. Heatbit. So basically what that is, it's a space heater. I've said that 3 times already now, but it mines Bitcoin. It has a Bitcoin miner built inside, but it has a case around it. They make it very easy for you. It's all set up. It's kind of like the lazy man's way to do it. So it costs a little bit more. You pay a little bit more. You're not going to get a whole lot back in sats. You'll probably hook up to a pool miner, but it does make a lot of sense. And I think that this is going to be a very big trend over these next couple of years, is actually, instead of just having a space heater, paying for the electricity for that, why not put the electricity towards a Bitcoin miner, use the heat off of that to heat your house? So I think that, sometime in the future here, everybody's going to have their own Bitcoin miner hooked up to their heating system, their ventilation. And you're going to be able to turn it down. Like even with these Heatbits or like a Crypto Cloaks one, like you can turn the power way down. You can turn the fans down according to the heat. So basically what happens with a Bitcoin miner is that it produces so much heat that it has the fans to cool it down. So the lower the heat, the lower the power, the lower the fans are spinning, the less noisy it is. So people will have it just kind of like at a normal, reasonable setting within their house and use that heat in the wintertime here. Like it's cold here for 6 or 7 months a year. So instead of just paying for wasted heat that just, you're just paying for heat, why not pay for a Bitcoin miner to be hooked up? And there it goes through all your vents. You heat your house, you get some Bitcoin back. It's going to subsidize your energy costs into the future. And I think that is going to be a trend here in the future. Who the hell's that? Weird. So yes, I think that people should look into that if you haven't already for this winter coming up. Look at a Heatbit or look at Crypto Cloaks. They actually, you can just put a Bitcoin miner in there. They sell you the case. You plug it into the wall, hook up to a pool, and you subsidize your energy costs that way. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And a hot water heater too. Like there's a spa in New York who actually, they heat all their pools with Bitcoin miners. It's just utilizing energy. Smart. Next question here. Calobri 492 says, how does somebody send a few sats, say $10 worth, if the gas fees are so high? So first of all, Calobri, there's no such thing as gas fees with Bitcoin. It's just transaction fees. So every transaction you do, you have to set a fee with it. Once your fee is high enough to get put into the next block, you're in, and your transaction fee goes towards the miner. But in terms of like how do you send somebody 10 sats or $10 worth? Probably the best bet would be Moon. And it really depends where your Bitcoin is. Like if you have Bitcoin on an exchange, so let's say you buy it at Bitcoin Well, you send it to your Moon wallet, for example. You don't pay any fees there because Bitcoin Well has free withdrawals. So you send it there, and then with your Moon wallet, you can actually send it using Lightning. So that's what I would say with that. Like obviously Lightning's a play, but you still have to get it onto Lightning. That's the hard part for a lot of people. Whoa. That was a big thunder, a big roar in the sky. So that's what I would say. I would use Moon Wallet for that, because even with, you wouldn't be able to use like a Phoenix wallet for that, because you have to set up a channel. You have to pay your miner fee to flip it over to Lightning. But with Moon Wallet, actually, you can send it to your Moon Wallet and then you can pay out in Lightning. You don't have to pay an incoming fee to swap it. So it's a little bit confusing, I know, and you probably just have to take some time learning this kind of stuff. But there's two really good wallets. The first one's Moon, the second one's Phoenix. Moon Wallet, all of your Bitcoin is actually held on chain. They give you the ability to send it via Lightning through Moon, but the Bitcoin itself is actually held on layer 1 on Moon Wallet. On Phoenix, it's not. It's Lightning, it's hot, it's connected to the internet, but you have to pay to swap it onto Lightning. So something to consider there. I would use Moon Wallet if you're just sending like $10 worth. I think that's the best option. Whoa. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi. I think it's still pretty far away. So that's what I would say for that. And fees are not high right now. Fees are actually at an all-time low, it seems like. Whoa. Yeah, the storm's pretty far away. if you're, oh, I just got a severe thunderstorm warning on my phone from Environment Canada. How do they know where I am? Bastards. So that's what I would say on that. But fees, nothing right now. This is the greatest time to be moving Bitcoin around. You heard that, Rick, on the camera, the thunder? It's loud. Rock and Roll says, I would give DCentral a call. They got some great setup with home mining with great prices on powerful machines. So DCentral, let's take a quick look at that. Oh, it's getting crazy here. You guys might lose me soon. So if you do, I want you to have a great weekend, okay? If we go down, I want you to have a great weekend. DCentral. So it looks like it's DCentral.tech. I'm just going to bring this up on screen. I'm going to paste this into the Zap.stream chat if anybody wants to check it out. This is what Rock and Roll's talking about over on YouTube. Where are we here? What's this guy doing? I don't want that. I want that on my screen. So this is DCentral.tech, D/central.tech. And I don't know what the heck this guy's doing. Get one of our Bitcoin Shadow Priest miniatures included in your order. I'll be passing on that. Holy. Rock and Roll, did you get one of these Shadow Priests? Okay, get off my screen. Get out of here. I don't know. Oh, there we go. So it looks like they do step into the future of Bitcoin mining with BitAxe, a community-driven open source revolution in cryptocurrency mining hardware. So they got BitAxes as well. It looks like they have a couple more options, though, than our friends over at Solo Satoshi. So check them out if you're in the market for subsidizing some of your energy costs. Oh. What else did I have to get through today? Craig said, or Daniel says, Craig's not in the chat today, but he's one of the principals at Superbacked. Yes, he is. Search YouTube for that. I think it's a good way to hold sats in deep cold storage. Yes. Here's a question, though. This is maybe the last thing we'll talk about today because this is kind of making me a little bit. You should see the clouds moving right now. This is the last question we'll do, I think, today. Sorry. Silver Fox says, I just moved my stack to Sparrow Wallet via cold card this morning. I feel like it was complicated and stressful, but got it done. Got my private keys onto Steel, but I'm always asking myself, where do I hide them? It's so stressful. It really is. That's the hardest part about like Bitcoin is the self-custody aspect and like spreading things out. So my answer to that is just like, put it in a place where you're going to know where it is. If you're somebody who just got into like the cold storage, the Sparrow Wallet, the cold card, keep it very simple. Keep it simple and check in on it like every week, every couple weeks. Make sure you know where it is. Make sure you know how to move Bitcoin off of there. Just focus on that for a while. If once you get to like a year or two, you have a bit more experience in there, then you can look at some options like multi-signature, collaborative custody. We're going to have an offer here for everybody in this community for that kind of thing, storing in different physical locations. But for now, I would just say keep it very simple. Put it under your mattress or something like, I don't know. Just keep it simple. Know where it is. Know how to restore it. Know how to move Bitcoin. And then once you have some experience doing that, then you can graduate to like a multi-signature collaborative custody model. And then you can start getting a little bit more complicated too in terms of where you're storing it, putting in a different location, maybe. I don't know. It's tough. It's a very tough question to answer because everybody has a different risk tolerance. Everybody has a different amount of Bitcoin. Everybody has a couple different wallets they use. I don't know. Sorry, I don't have a great answer to that, but just keep it very simple right off the start. That's the main thing. I think there's been so many people lose their Bitcoin so unnecessarily just because they buy it, they set it up properly, they get help doing it, and then they just forget what they did. They forget their code, they lose their key, they overcomplicate things, and they can't access their Bitcoin again. And that would be the worst feeling in the world. Buying Bitcoin back in 2024 and protecting it, getting a cold card, but then you fuck it up by forgetting something in the setup. So that's what I would say. That's Silver Fox. Just keep it very simple. You're already on the good path of the Sparrow Wallet, the cold card. You're going to be able to manage your Bitcoin much more efficiently through that. But now just focus on, the process, on keeping it simple. My Path to Fire, shout out to him or her, is up to 121 sats over in Zap.stream. Okay, I think we're going to call it here unless anybody else has any things to talk about or that they want to ask. I had a couple more questions here, but I don't know. I think we should just cut our losses here today. Be happy that we made it. This is actually a really good idea too. This is a great comment here from Muslim Bitcoiner. I'd rather split the 12 words in 6 and 6, where I put half the seed somewhere super secret, hold 6 near me, and memorize the 12 too. That's don't start memorizing like in your first month of cold storage, but yeah, that is something that you should work towards. One of my ideas that I had here, and I think that, it'd take a while for somebody to figure this out in my house, but one idea is that just get like a book, get like a random book on your bookshelf, start at like page 50, every 10 pages, put a new word in there. You could maybe do that in 2 different books, 6 words in each. And then hide your steel like somewhere in the wall or something like that. That's a very viable option too. Is use the books, write down the different words in there, split it up. Know the process though. Make sure you know what pages it is, what book it is, where the book is. Make sure you have all that like down. But then take the steel, put it in the roof, put it in the backyard, whatever. Just in a place where if somebody broke in, they're not going to be able to just go there, grab it, and leave. That's kind of what you want. So I think that's it. We got an hour today. We did the whole show on YouTube. That's okay. I think we did that last week as well for the Q&A. But it is hot. It is storming. I'm very tired. So we're going to call it a day. And as Rock and Roll here says, have a great weekend, everyone. Remember, don't shitcoin. It's really bad for you. You're going to be tempted. You're going to be tempted over these next 12 months to buy the new coin, the new Bitcoin, the Caspa coin, the Shiba Inu coin that went up 100% in the last week. You're going to be tempted. There's going to be a lot of times in these next couple of years where you're going to be tempted to either buy some shit coins or trade your Bitcoin for it. And it is a horrible idea. Just ignore it. Anytime, keep an open mind with a lot of things, but in this time in history, do not keep an open mind to anything other than Bitcoin. It's not financial advice. That's just the best advice I can give. That's the advice that I'm rolling with. So with that, appreciate everybody over in Zap.stream for the sats this morning. It was good to see such a large crowd here. I tried, I was going to try rating somebody today, but I don't know how to do it. The grinder had a good raid the other day. He raided everybody into Sergio's chat. So I don't know how to do that, but I wanted to try it. Anyways, we were watching the soccer game on the Grinders feed yesterday. It was a lot of fun. We were just watching the soccer game. I'm not a soccer guy at all. I actually hate soccer, but we were watching the game, chatting about Bitcoin. So he inspired me. I think I'm going to do a live stream next weekend for the Open Championship over in Scotland. Royal Troon, I think it is, Scotland. So we're going to watch that. It'll be like over in Europe, so it might be like in a weird time. But we're going to be doing that on Zap.stream, just watching golf for a couple hours, talking Bitcoin. So keep that in mind. I think if you got some time on your board next weekend, we're going to be watching golf together. George's going to hide underneath the golf hole. Only way to unlock is a hole-in-one. My private key? Yeah, it's a good idea, actually. Build a little green in the backyard and put the private key under the cup. Okay, well, that's it. Thanks, everybody, for the zaps. We had Stacker with a total of 4.2 thousand sats. Thank you very much for that. We had Letha with a total of 3.1 thousand sats. Daniel joined the 1,000 sat club today. And my Path to Fire with 121 sats. So that's what we're going to do. For the month, every month, the highest zap is going to win a prize from me. Might be sats, might be a new shirt, might be a new hat, might be a personalized letter from me, from all the way in Manitoba. So currently Mav21 is the leader with 4.2 thousand sats. And we'll see if anybody can top that next week or on the way out. So have yourself an amazing weekend. Get yourself some Grey Ridge coffee if you haven't yet. In the show notes below, you can find all the info, I guess. I think it's called links in the chain. But every person that we're working with here, Grey Ridge Coffee is a sponsor of the show. So if you need coffee, if you want to support a local roaster here in Manitoba, they accept Bitcoin. There's a discount code. I think if you use KNG at checkout, you save 25%. Okay, that's it. We're done. We're not doing this anymore. But I did want to come back because for the podcast version of this, the audio version of this, I didn't want it to just end. So I'm officially wrapping this up. Thanks everybody for the sats. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the questions. And thanks for putting up with the bullshit today. So I'm going to have to edit this for the audio version, but I wanted to wrap things up. So everybody have an amazing weekend. Click the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit the zap button on the way out and have yourselves the best weekend of your life. I appreciate everybody. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you first thing right back here Monday morning. Maybe tomorrow. Who knows? Bye-bye.